Okay, so we had a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and I think the first step that we should try to do is Y. Let's save this as level 1, and I kind of don't want example map just because I've been making more into the numbered in sequence. But we'll make a new level, and let me just make sure I'm recording this. Okay, cool. We'll make a new level that has our UI. So we'll just create a new widget. Call this thing UI. Main menu. And while we're at it, we'll also save this level as main. We can delete from here. We don't want to delete that. Okay. Main menu. Save. We'll just delete from here instead. I'll delete this example map just to clean it up, so now I just have level 1 and main menu. Cool. Blueprint. Add a button. Drag 2 over here. Just size these things. We'll put this at about 760, maybe about 400 by 100. And this one can be around 760, 400, 100. And here, this one will be game. This one will be quit game. We'll scroll down on the button properties and add an on-click event. And we'll just have this thing open level. And it's going to there. It's going to here. So we're going to have to Y. So I'm going to level blueprint on the play. Create widget, and we're going to create our UI main menu. We're also going to take the link from there and we're going to add to viewport. And while we're at it, we're going to get the player controller because we need to show the mouse. So we're dragging a wire, set show mouse cursor. Check that to true. Compile and play. Sweet. Now I have 2 buttons. Click that button and it loads our second level. Awesome. And we can also try the quit button here. Quits. You notice though when I play, it keeps the UI on screen, so we can fix that by just going to the UI blueprint, and we'll just have this thing removed from parent after it's done loading, as well as getting the controller, and we'll hide the mouse cursor too. We'll play. When I click this, the UI goes away. Now, it would be kind of cool if that UI had some animation on it when it started, so let's try to put some of that in. The animations are controlled through the designer here, and you can add a new one. I'm going to just call it entered or screen open. Okay. There's going to be sometimes, I sometimes get these issues where the timeline doesn't want to show the animation. I'm going to try closing the timeline and reopening it here. This thing. Let me close the UI main menu. Yeah, sometimes if you just close and reopen the UI blueprint, it'll cause so I have an animation here. There's 2 main ways you can animate things. You can either hand key them by moving them and then pressing a button, or you can just do this auto key, which is a really nice way. I want these things to come off from off screen. So I will set this thing to be, you can move it if you want. Do that. And you notice here it added the keys for that one. And you can just drag this slider where you want to go. And I know I want to end up at 760, so I'm going to put it at 800, and then have it kind of bounce anyways. 760. Okay, and just to show you how you can hand key these things, you can also click on the and just click the buttons for the keys of what you want. In this case here, for this we only have one key for the offset. So now if that's a time, I really want that at that time. I'll delete that key and try again. I want this thing at 0 time. So I want this thing at the same time as the other. Yes. So I'll add a key, and then at 1 second again, I'll put this thing at 800, key that, and then right there, 760. Now both of them are animating. Did I not key this? 760. This button. There it goes. Alright, so I want to play that animation when it starts. Also notice that even though I have my game, the buttons are kind of off-center. You can just easily fix that by clicking on the buttons and then changing the pivot by dragging that little anchor widget to where you want those things to be. And then now they show up in the center of the screen. It'll help for like different aspect ratios, or if they're playing a game on like a smaller resolution screen, at least they'll be able to access your buttons and click on them and interact with them. Okay, so let's play that animation when this thing starts. So on begin play, we are on the event construct. We can play animation, and what we want to do is we're going to want to pick our animation here. There's our enter screen animation. Compile that and save it. Right. We can't do this from here. Let's do this from here instead. I have my widget here. See if we can just have it play an animation. What do we call it? Enter screen? That's what we want. Play it that way here. Let's actually try to do this back. I just did that just because I thought that's where it should be, but we'll do it here instead. We can do it on the event construct, so it'll play every time that this thing is created. That's fine. We'll do play animation, and back here we'll get the enter screen animation. Okay, we'll play, and they're doing this thing just fine. For this animation here, oh, that's interesting. Right, because we actually moved the anchor after we animated it, that animation is actually completely wrong now. So let's just do this again from scratch. This feature is still a little bit in the works, so it should have reset my buttons, but it did not. Right, so there's my anchor, so I just click on the animation here, turn on the auto key, and then let's see, I want to, how far away do I need to move this? Minus 1200? Maybe minus 1600? Cool. And then 2 seconds, we'll set the offset to be minus 200 now. So it'll just fly in like that. Okay. Let's just make sure we actually save this. It's good. close this and reopen it and see if it regenerates that properly. Okay. I need to click that one. I want to say it's actually loading the old one here. It's my enter screen animation. Let's just re-add that. Yeah, this feature is kind of work in progress. If you run into those issues, don't fret, but that's the kind of stuff you'll probably have to deal with. Alright, that does it for this video. Thanks.